That you can see me?
Yeah, I can. Okay, go.
Hi, I'm DeAndre, and this is my partner Sydney. We're going to be talking about C.S. Lewis's beliefs on Christian marriage based on his book Mere Christianity, and we're going to start with sex before marriage.
He first starts to talk about sexual morality and sex before marriage, and he has a lot to say when it comes to sexual morality, and he makes it very clear to his audience that sex isn't something you should be ashamed of craving. It shouldn't be something you're ashamed of doing. And it's when you feel the desire to have sex, it's not like you're doing anything wrong, because in fact that's how we're made to be. It's how it's supposed to go. God put us on the earth to be fruitful, so of course you're going to feel that way. And he just wants to make sure that everyone understands that yes, it's okay for you to feel that way, but necessarily engaging in sexual behavior before you are married is frowned upon in the Christian community, especially in a Christian marriage. And the reason why is because when you get married and you make those vows, you're making promises to each other, lifetime promises, and your sexual relationship is supposed to be something between one man and one woman, because that's just how life is supposed to be. Marriage is supposed to be between a man and a woman, because men and women are, when they're together, they're a single organism. They're one flesh. They're like a lock and key fit. It's how it's supposed to go. For every man, there's a woman. For every woman, there's a man.
Some churches do not admit divorcing in marriage, and depends on the situation. It has to be a real special occasion, to get a divorce, because you can't just say you're not in love with that person, because you wouldn't have got married in the first place. And he also says that the duty of marriage is a promise. It's when you make vows, you have to keep those vows all through the marriage, no matter how long it lasts. And even permanent marriage, it is perhaps better to live unmarried than to get married and really just be leading that person on instead of in love with them. Alright, the idea of being in love is...
Hey, can you guys be quiet, please? Gianni, please be quiet, because there's two groups back here recording for a project. Thank you.
Black girl's talking.
Good God.
Alright. The idea of being in love is the only reason for remaining married, which leaves no room for marriage as a contract or promise at all. And that basically means that you have to be in love with that person. You can't just be in there as just to be there. You have to really love that person. It's not like a contract where you sign and you have to stay committed to that person for no exact reason. You have to really be in love with that person. And everyone who marries in a church has made a public promise to stay till death, which means that you are committed to that person until death, that you said vows and you meant those vows, and if you didn't really mean them, you shouldn't have got married in the first place. And unwed living equals fornication in Christian people's eyes, which means that
it's just really frowned upon. It's not how they did it back in the day, and it's not how they believe you should do it now, only because when you live with someone who you are in a relationship with, but it's not like you're not officially married, it's there's a lot of room for temptation, and then they feel that if you have that room for temptation, you will stumble, because we're human, and that's what happens. And they believe that if you're unwed and you're not living together, it just makes your relationship stronger, and it keeps you and your relationship with God stronger, because you are not sinning as much as you would if you were in the same household as said person.
And that's the end of our video on Christian marriage by C.S. Lewis, and we'll see you guys in class.